Holy crap, I just watched Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. That was a scary ass movie. I'm here in Cineworld in Wandsworth. If you look behind me, a completely empty auditorium. Absolutely mad. So as you can tell, I was shaken and maybe a bit disturbed from seeing Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho today at my local Cineworld. It was awesome, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that. Edgar Wright is definitely my favourite British director. Sorry, Christopher Nolan, you've been relegated to second place now, but the thing with Edgar Wright, if you look at Wright filmography on IMDb, there is not one single project that I have thought, oh, didn't like that. Everything is great. Now, to his credit, I'm glad that Marvel did not get their clutches on him when they asked him to direct Ant-Man. Everybody was excited. I was really buzzed for it, but then of course things fell apart. And it's, my point is, Edgar Wright is too good for the MCU. Interestingly enough, I just looked at his IMDb filmography. He is going to be he's in the driver's seat for The Running Man. So the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic from 1987? He's redoing that. Okay, back to the focus of this review, which of course is Last Night in Soho. Released last week on Halloween, and in fact part of the film is set in that time period, and I wish I'd seen it on Halloween, but the forces of nature made sure I could not do that. It stars two gorgeous, sexy leading ladies, Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy. Probably for me, my woman of the year when it comes to turning in sterling performances. I mean, she's on par with Rebecca Ferguson. She is that good. Anya Taylor-Joy once described herself as being awkward and ugly. No, you're not, Miss Joy. Trust me, and I cannot wait to see what you do in the new Mad Max sequel film with George Miller, whenever that decides to happen. But you do know the story already about this film because the trailer showed you quite a bit. I got some bits wrong in my reaction. What I do love about this film, that when it kicks off, you think you're in the 60s, and like what Edgar Wright does so cleverly, he'll just use a little prop just to transition from one time zone to another, and suddenly you're like, oh, we're in modern day again now. That's great. And there is a great supporting cast in this movie. It's dedicated, of course, to the late great Emma Peel herself, Diana Rigg, Dame Di, and she turns in a fantastic performance. I mean, what a way to go out. Your swan song, and it's this film by Edgar Wright. It's amazing. She's great. There's great supporting talent from Michael Ajao. I thought he was great as John. Terrence Stamp, living legend, icon, the man who made Superman bend at his will. He's still got it, man. He's awesome. And this Matt Smith, the Doctor himself, the ex-Doctor Who, he's great. He brings a certain amount of menace and a little bit of sympathy, I suppose, where the film's storyline is concerned. Oh, I tell you, the worst character in this movie is a person called Jocasta, this really pretentious fashion student. And I have met people like her. They're the kind of person that have to one-up you all the time because they just cannot take the fact you're stealing their thunder. So she really annoyed me. I'm glad she only appeared in certain segments of the movie, and it's not a blight on the actress who plays her. It's just that made me feel very uncomfortable watching that character on screen. It's like, ugh. I'll tell you what, if you're a Londoner, you will really appreciate this film because Edgar Wright obviously loves London. Now, apart from directing a few music videos from the Blue Tones, Edgar Wright is most notably famous for Spaced with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Now, I do believe I saw those actors today in this film. That is not a spoiler, but the whole premise of the film is that Thomasin McKenzie plays Eloise, or Call Me Ellie, and she has this kind of gradual nervous mental breakdown because of something that haunted her mother, and now she's going through the same thing, but it's also haunting the viewer as well. So I'm sat there thinking, did I just really see Peg and Frost on screen, or is my mind just effing with me? I was never quite sure. Now, Anya Taylor-Joy plays Alexandra, but you can call me Sandy for short. Is Sandy really short for Alexandra? Well, I don't know. She's great. She has a moment on stage where I believe it is actually her singing. She's terrific. She has got a really amazing screen presence. Yes, she's undeniably beautiful and gorgeous, the whole 9 yards. and like her chemistry with Thomasin McKenzie is fantastic. So the basic premise is Thomasin McKenzie moves into this one bedroom sit in Goode Street. Yeah, they even actually give the specific address. I'm assuming now people are going to be flocking to that address to see where it actually is. And this bedroom that she stays in for the duration of the film, it takes her into the 60s. They don't tell you how it happens, not right away, you find out later on. And I tell you what, the recreation of 1965 London is amazing. It really is. The 60s is a great time, folks. The music, fantastic. Today's Generation X, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, all music that needs to be destroyed, defecated on. Cujo, do your business, mate. Good dog. Good dog. But it was great to hear Petula Clark, Sandy Shaw, Cilla Black, and Cilla Black actually makes an appearance in this film. Obviously not the real Cilla, God bless you, love, but it's really good what you see. Cafe de Paris is, now this is something that I mentioned in my video reaction before for this film. I believe it's the real Cafe de Paris they've used. I used to go there in the late 1990s, so seeing a flashback of that, to me, it looks like exactly the same layout, because obviously that building is now closed due to the pandemic. And I will say overall, this film is great. If you know Edgar Wright's style, it's like the chippy choppy editing, but it's done in such a way that it makes things move along really well. Now, I want to make one of my bold predictions. When they reboot 007, Edgar Wright is going to be the man in charge of kicking off that franchise all over again. I guarantee it. I'm laying my reputation on the line, folks, because when I watched this film, and obviously saw the Thunderball poster above the cinema, and I thought, and there's certain elements in this film where I'm thinking, you know, you got your Bond girls, you got Anya Taylor-Joy, you got Mackenzie, you got those, and I'm thinking, this could be a Bond film, and man, give Edgar Wright his due. Let him do a Bond film. He's never craved to do one. He's never asked to do one like Christopher Nolan has. But honestly, Edgar Wright, my favorite British director, he can do no wrong. And you can do no wrong yourself by going to see Last Night in Soho. It is a scary ride. Now, the actual title of this movie comes from a Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch song. If you know who those guys are, they also had one of their songs used in the Tarantino film Death Proof. So, you know, check it out and you know what I'm talking about. And also, there's a great Susie and the Banshee song they use in this film. And I know a mate of mine will really, really appreciate that. I'm happy in my happy house. I'm happy here in my happy house. I don't think I'll get a copyright strike for that. Nah, that won't happen. Not in a million years. So, folks, if you enjoyed this review today, yes, I like to slap my hands together. It's better than slapping your bum cheeks. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like below. Please slash that subscribe button. And I'll see you on my next review, reaction, or rant.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed.